Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am very excited. Finally I have access to Automate or Office script. This is the Automate tab, okay? And in this video we are going to talk about Office script. For documentation you should go into this URL, Office script, okay? And in this video we are going to learn about name range, okay? And we are going to see how can we use action recorder and how to use that. So this is the very basic one, okay, and I would suggest you to check out this docs, okay. So let me know if you have any question or if I am doing anything wrong, okay. So if you go into this Automate tab, then you'll see this record action and new script. If you click on this record action, for the first time it will ask you to click on the button in the below section, but I already have done that, so from the next time it will just start recording. So if you have experience working with VBA, then it's similar like macro recorder, okay. It will record action and it will record the code what we are doing at the moment. So let me give you an example. You can see it says add worksheet, right? Now if I just type out some value, then it will say that edit B2, right? Let's say length of this, then it says edit B2 to B3. Now let's say if I stop this, let me see the codes, edit this code. Now you can see it says let sheet2 equals to workbook.addWorksheet. By default the function name will be main and it will take one parameter, that is Excel script.workbook, and this is the type. So this is a TypeScript code, okay. This is the parameter name, this is the parameter type. It's similar like VBA, like you need to specify the variable type or argument type, but the syntax is a little bit different, okay. It's like dim, but we can use let and we can set the variable at once, okay. So anyway, so you can see the steps. Add any worksheet, workbook.addWorksheet, and then set range B2 and B3 one sheet 2. So it's getting that sheet, get the range, and set formula locally. So it's just formulas local, it just put the value for this one and it put the formula for this one. And once we are doing this, it's just appending both of these into one step, okay. So that's how we can record action. So let me show you how can we do this for the name range part, okay. So we'll start with this one and I'll create a name range, let's say for the symbols, okay. I have a very simple data set here. So I want to create a name range for the symbol and later on I'll increase this, okay. So let's click on this record action and it started recording. So I'll just select this and I'll press F3 to open up this name manager, and then I'll just say okay, this is symbol, click OK. That's it. Now let me just stop this and let's see the code. You can see it says selected sheet, so workbook.get active worksheet, so it's retrieving the active worksheet, and then it says that workbook.add named item, so it's just adding a name range, okay. If you hover your mouse on this section you'll get the tooltip, okay. So it says Excel script.workbook.add named item. You need to specify the name, that will be of type string. Reference, it can be string or Excel script dot range, so it could be a string or just a range, okay. And then you can specify the comment, and the output will be Excel script dot named item, okay. So this is the name, the symbol, and this is the range, and we are specifying the range instead of a string, okay. So selected sheet dot get range dot get extended range, and then it's just showing this down, okay. So it's just getting A2 and then go down to the last row, and then just for the comment part it's just putting empty string, okay. So let me just delete this name range, okay. Sorry, I'll just delete this name range and then I'll put comment all the symbols of company stock. Let's say this is my comment, and let's run this. And it says the script is running and it's finished. So let me look into the name manager, and you can see we have this symbol name range and you can see the comment here, okay. So this is how we can run this script and this is how we can record a script, okay. I'll just record another script. So this is for, let me save this script, rename this, so create named range. Okay, this is one. So I'll just record another action, and this time I am going to modify the previously created name range. So let me just update this. Okay, so instead of A2 to A15, I'm going to say okay, select this B2 to V15 and press OK and close. It says set named item, so I'll stop this recording, and then you can see function main named item, and it's create a named item variable. Okay, and then it just set it up, named item equals to workbook.get named item symbol, and then it just says set comment, so it's just basically skipping the previous comment, so it's not actually changing this comment. But the interesting part is that named item.set formula is data B2 to V15. Let's look at this in the name manager, and you can see refers to equals to data B2 to V15, right? Now it's referencing this range. You can see these rectangles, right? Now I'll just run this code again, so it will just update again. So now if I just run this, and if I go into this name manager and click on this symbol, now you can see that it says equal and then quotes data B2 to V15, and you can see we don't have the rectangle sign, right? So basically this is a bug that it's not putting the equal sign here. Like if I just change this to this and then just save this script and then run again. Now if I go into this name manager again, then you'll see that it's selecting properly. All right, so this is a little bit bug, as OpsScript is not improved that much yet. It's early technology, so we can have different bugs, so you need to watch out for that. Okay, or you can manually verify that if the script looks correct or not after we get the recorded script. Okay, and I think I can just get rid of this. This is not needed actually, because I'm not changing the comment, so it doesn't make any sense, right? So let me see if we have the comment or not. Yeah, we do have the comment, so it doesn't actually matter. So that's how we can record script, and we can modify the code and save this using a meaningful name. Okay, so that's for this adding name range. Okay, now let's suppose if I want to create a name range which doesn't actually referencing to a range, right? It's just like, maybe some values. Okay, so I can do that, right? So I'll go into this, click on the record action again, open up this name manager dialog and say my name, and I'll just type out, so press OK. Now if I just okay, that's interesting. Okay, now you can see it didn't actually record that particular action because I'm not interacting with this range, I guess. That's why it's basically skipped that part, that I have created a name range using this particular name. So that's another watch out if you are using just action recorder. Okay, but if I want to do the same thing using OpsScript, I can do that actually. So let me show you that. So automative. So what I'll do, workbook.add named item, and you can find the documentation here. Okay, if you go into this workbook OpsScript references and then choose this workbook, then you will get this page, and just type out add named item and you'll get this. Okay, so add named item, right, and the name is my name, and then references is, and I can add a comment. Okay, and that's it, I guess. I don't need to do anything else. If I run this, let me just delete the old name range, name manager, delete this. Now let me run this, and let's see, you can see my name, and this is my name, right? So this is how we can create that name range, which is not possible by just using this action recorder. Okay, So that's the limitation of that action recorder, but it's not of the Office script. You can still do a lot of stuff that is not possible using action recorder, but possible using just Office script. Okay, so this is how we can create a name range, which is basically just hard coding some string. Let's suppose if I want to create a lambda, right? So I should be able to do that, right? So let me create a lambda. It will be just a simple lambda and just adding to number. Okay, nothing complex. So this is that lambda. I want to create this lambda and I want to put a name for this one as, let's say, add. Okay, so let's say add to number. That's my lambda name. So in that case, what I just need to do is just specify this formula equal lambda a plus b. This is my lambda. I can skip that comment actually. I think that's optional, right? Yes, comment is optional. You can see this question mark. That means this is an optional. You can see in this section as well, comment optional, the comment associated with the named item. Now, if I just save this and if I run this, and if I go into the name manager, I should be able to see add to number, right? And then we get this lambda a plus b. Let me try to use that. Add to number, let's say 10 and 20. I would get 30. So that's how we can add lambda using this add named item. So we have covered how to create a name range for just range. We have covered how to create a name range for string values or like hard-coded value. We have covered how to create name range for lambda as well. Let me show you one more example for spill range. So we'll be able to cover that as well. Let me just refer this. Okay, so this is a spill range, right? So this is D3 and then pound sign, right? So what I do is like company name, and that will be sheet 2 question mark D3 pound sign. Should use hard coded, and I can just skip this comment part. I don't need that actually. So I'll just save this script and then run again, and let's see in the name manager. So company name, I get sheet2 D3 pound sign. So let's see actually if it's working. Company name, and then you can see it's working fine, right? So that's the first part, how to create name range, and the next part we will see how to create a local scope name range. So you can see if you look at this documentation, it just says that yes, so you can see add a new name to the collection of the given scope using the user locally for the formula. So what this one is saying that if you use workbook.add named item, then it will create that workbook scope name range. But if you want to create worksheet scope name range, you can do that just by using worksheet.add name. So let me show you one example for that one. So let me find worksheet, let me find add named item. You can see that, right? So let me show you one example. So instead of workbook, I'll just say workbook.get worksheet, and I'll just specify that this will be sheet 2, and let's try to run this, what this does actually, if it's updating this scope or not. We run this. Let me go into the name manager. I can see two name ranges right now, right? One is scope to sheet 2, another one is scope to workbook. So this is that worksheet scope name range. If you just want to create a local scope name range, then you just need to specify this worksheet or the scope object. So when it's workbook, then we just say workbook. When it's worksheet, then we just say okay, workbook.get worksheet. And that's how we can create local scope name range. So we have covered all of this scenario: how to create range references name range, how to create hard-coded value name range, how to create lambda as a name range, how to create local scope name range. So you should be able to do all of this. In the next video, we are going to retrieve different parts of the name range which is already created. Okay, so this is on the creation part. Next part will be the reading part. Have a good day.